visitor's visa and residence permit. A visitor's visa allows you to stay in Norway or other Schengen countries for up to 90 days over a period of 180 days. A residence permit gives you the opportunity to work in Norway and to stay for more than 90 days. Requirement to give biometrics when applying for residence permit and visa for Norway. Since March 18, 2021, persons applying for a residence permit in Norway have been requested to submit biometrics in the form of a live photograph. This means that applicants will have to meet at a VFS application center to submit their application. From and including January 24, 2022, applicants will, in addition to fingerprints and photographs, have to submit a signature when applying for a residence permit with VFS. The Norwegian Embassy in Abu Dhabi is responsible for handling visa and residence permit applications for Norway for the following countries: UAE, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. In addition to the above-mentioned countries, the embassy receives applications for residents from Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, and Oman. For information about the application procedures and requirements for other nationals, please select your country from the list on www.norway.no. There are no entry restrictions to Norway due to the corona situation. Entry to Norway. There are no longer special requirements for entry into Norway due to the corona situation. The same rules as before the corona pandemic apply now. Please note that there are other rules for Svalbard, external website. You may experience that other rules apply if you have connecting flights in another country, and the airlines may also have restrictions due to the corona situation. You must familiarize yourself with the rules that apply during your travel to Norway. Where and how to hand in my application. The Norwegian Embassy in Abu Dhabi is responsible for handling visa and residence permit applications for Norway for the following countries: UAE, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Yemen, and Qatar. In addition to the above-mentioned countries, the embassy receives applications for residents from Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, and Oman. For information about the application procedures and requirements for other nationals, please select your country from the list on www.norway.no. Information regarding the situation in Afghanistan and temporarily acceptance of submission of applications for residents in Norway. Due to difficulties in crossing the border between Afghanistan and Pakistan, family members, reference persons, can now apply for family immigration on behalf of a family member who is in Afghanistan. Please note that if your family member is staying outside Afghanistan, he or she must apply the ordinary way by handing in the documents in person at a VFS application center in the country of residence. You can find information about the VFS application center and embassies which accepts applications for residence permits here. Embassies which accepts applications for residence permits, UD. You can find information on the Norwegian Directorate of Immigration's, UDI, website about how to apply in Norway on behalf of a family member in Afghanistan. Reference persons in Norway may apply for family immigration on behalf of family members residing in Afghanistan, UD. Please note the following. VFS Global, VFS Visa Application Centers in the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Iran and Qatar are opened. Please visit www.vfsglobal.com for more information and to book an appointment. Interviews are being conducted through the VFS application centers. However, to protect our staff and the applicants from the risk of contracting COVID-19, until further notice it is not possible for interviews to be conducted at our embassies in Tehran and Islamabad. DNA tests are being conducted. However, to protect our staff and the applicants from the risk of contracting COVID-19, the tests are being done with very limited capacity. The missions in Islamabad, Tehran, the UAE and Saudi Arabia will contact the applicant to schedule a date for the DNA sample to be collected. Representation agreements. The representation agreements Norway has with the Netherlands in Oman, Germany in Kuwait and Bahrain are now reactivated. Applicants in the aforementioned countries who wish to apply for a visa to Norway can now submit their applications to the Embassy of the Netherlands and Germany in the respective countries where they represent Norway. Iceland is represented by the Embassy of Norway in the United Arab Emirates. General inquiries about visas and residence permit. Please note that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Norway has a global agreement with VFS Global regarding receiving applications for visa and residence permits, answering phone calls and answering emails on behalf of Norwegian embassies. Therefore, if you have any questions regarding your visa or residence permit to Norway, you must contact VFS Global. The main webpage of VFS Global is www.vfsglobal.com. From here you can find contact details to the VFS application centers in the country you want to hand in your application, or you want to contact for questions. If you have further queries that VFS cannot answer, you may contact the visa team at the Royal Norwegian Embassy in Abu Dhabi. You can contact the Norwegian Embassy in Abu Dhabi, visa section visa.abudhabi@mfa.no. Residence permit. Citizens of Pakistan and Afghanistan need a residence permit in order to work or to take up residence for longer than 90 days. For nationals of other countries. Nationals of EU/E countries do not need a residence permit to stay or work in Norway. However, all nationals of EU/E countries who want to stay for longer than 3 months must register with the police. Nationals of non-EU/E countries who want to work in Norway or to stay for longer than 90 days need a residence permit. The Directorate of Immigration, UDI, normally processes applications for a residence permit. Before you apply, find out what type of residence permit you need, for example in connection with work, studies, family immigration or to stay in Norway as an au pair. You will find information on the different types of residence permit on UDI's website. In order to apply for a residence permit to Norway from Pakistan, you must either be a citizen of Pakistan, a citizen of Afghanistan with a valid visitor visa or residence permit for Pakistan. Applicants with other nationalities can only apply if they hold a residence permit for Pakistan and have had this for at least the last 6 months. In Pakistan, applicants for residence permits submit their applications at visa application centers run by an external service provider, VFS Global. Please note that you are required to book an appointment to submit your application. There may be up to 15 days waiting period to get an appointment with the visa application center. Gather the necessary documentation. You must gather all the documents in the relevant checklist on UDI's website. Some of the documents must be provided by your contact person in Norway, others you will have to obtain yourself. If you want someone to act on your behalf in connection with your application, you must authorize this person to do so. Please visit the UDI website for more information and the relevant form, Power of Attorney. Online registration and payment. Before you can hand in your passport and other documentation at the embassy, consulate or VFS office, you must register your application in the application portal. If this is the first time that you are registering an application in the portal, you will first need to create a user account. Once you have registered, you will receive confirmation by email, with a cover letter attached. The cover letter will confirm that you have filled in the application form and paid the fee. You need to print this letter and submit it together with the other required documentation. Application fees. Please visit the UDI website for information about the fees. Please note that you pay the fee when registering the application in the portal. Service fee at the Visa Application Center. In Pakistan, applications are received by an external service provider, VFS Global, which charges a service fee of €30. For more information, visit the VFS Global website. Optional services provided at the Visa Application Center. Certain additional services offered by VFS are not included in the service fee. Please note that these services are optional. For more information, please visit the VFS Global website. Handing in the documents. You must bring all the documents listed in the checklist with you. You will find a link to the checklist in the email that is sent when you have registered your application in application portal. We will contact you if we need more information. Your application will then be sent on to UD for processing. You can hand in your documents here. There are 3 visa application centers where you can hand in your application. Please note that you have to book an appointment to hand in your application. You can book online through the Attend a Center VFS Global or by calling the VFS helpline, +920518439383. There may be up to 15 days waiting time to get an appointment to hand in your documents. The address for the visa application centers are Islamabad, Park Road, Chathabakta War, Chakshazad, Islamabad, Lahore, 20X American Center Building, opposite Gangaram Hospital, Queens Road, Lahore, Karachi, Bahria Complex 4, 4th floor, Main Chaudhry Khalika Zaman Road, Jisri, Clifton, Karachi. Processing time. Applications for a residence permit are processed by UD. You will find information about the processing time on UD's website. Result. You will be notified by email or telephone when your application has been processed. The result can be picked up at the visa application center where the application was submitted. If you have been granted a residence permit, a sticker will be placed in your passport to allow you to travel to Norway. You will be contacted when you can collect your passport. Please do not book tickets until you have been granted an entry visa. If your application has been rejected, you will receive a written explanation as to why it was rejected. You can appeal the decision. On arrival. When you cross the border into the Sinjan area, you will have to present your passport with the entry visa sticker, if you need an entry visa. Documentation showing the purpose of your stay. Once you know when you will be arriving in Norway, you need to make an appointment with the police in order to obtain a residence card. You must pre-book this appointment, normally through the application portal, and the appointment has to be either during the first 7 days you are in Norway, or the first available appointment you can find.